Good afternoon. I'm Mark Johnston, Superintendent of Shenandoah County Public Schools. And I'm here with Dr. Heingardner, and we're going to remove our masks once we make sure that we're physically distancing. Thank you, Dr. Heingardner.
Yes, sir.
As everyone who watched the school board meeting last evening heard, the school board approved our plan for reopening schools for August 17th, 2020. The reopening would be, our plan is that students that choose to learn virtually are able to do so, but if they want to come to school for face-to-face instruction, pre-K through 5 can come 4 days a week, and then 6 through 12 can come 1 day a week. Dr. Heingardner, tell us what went into that decision. Why can't we get more students in, or why can't we get more days per week for 6-12?
Well, first of all, the health and safety of students is paramount, and that's what drove the decision-making process, and trying to make sure that every precaution that we could take to keep people safe, that's what we were going to do. So that everything flowed out of that view. Next to that really is trying to think about kids and what's in the best interest of students and the developmentally appropriate places and configurations that we could put students drove the next decision. And then from that, we have to start talking about who's going to teach them. And the certification pieces are a big part. It's not just numbers. It's not just how many kids can you get in a room. That's just a very small part of the puzzle. The bigger pieces that also go along with that are the certification levels of teachers and making sure that we have certified teachers in the correct subject areas that can work with students. So that's huge. Obviously, the number of classrooms and the square footage of space, that's a big part of it as well. And so there's a lot of different factors that go into the decision making on why and how we come to the place that we are today.
So I know that because of our space limitations, with 900 students expected to come back to Robinson, we can't fit 900 students at Robinson. So is that why 5th grade at Robinson and Sandy Hook will be moving over to the middle schools? Is it really just a space issue?
Well, absolutely. There's no way we can take the same number of kids that we typically have in those schools and spread them out 6 feet apart and be able to get them all in. There's no way.
Let me ask you that. So you mentioned the 6 foot, but I saw an updated list of the phasing guidelines, and I saw a phase 3 guideline that referenced a 3 foot.
Yeah, and you know, the reality of it is when we go down to 3 foot, as all the guidance has said, if you're going to get closer than 6 feet, you have to wear a mask. And I just cannot see, I don't think any of us can see where we want students to have to wear a mask all day sitting in school. That I don't think that we can do that. And so we're trying to find a good medium, a good medium in between. They need to wear a mask when they're less than 6 feet. But not all day long.
So we've got the masks, and we understand the 6 foot versus the 3 foot. I know each day you do as well, we look at the Virginia Department of Health page that shows county by county the cases and hospitalizations and deaths. And what I've noticed, and I believe you have as well, is that Shenandoah County remains among the highest in the state. I think 3rd highest in deaths per capita. So apples to apples, we're 3rd highest in the state. How does that affect our health plan and what we have to do there?
Well, we certainly have to think about a daily checklist or a daily review of our health, and that's for all of us. That's for administrators, that's for teachers, that's for custodians, but that's also very important for students. And obviously, we talk about age appropriateness. Some students are probably going to be able to do that on their own, but some parents are going to really need to help identify those questions. Do you have a fever? Do you have any new cough? The checklist of symptoms for this virus needs to be a daily part prior to coming to school.
So The health department guidelines require masks when you can't social distance. If a student is offered bus transportation, to take advantage of that, they'll have to wear a mask. There'll be pre-checklists in terms of health checklists. And we know because of distancing, grade 5 will be at our middle schools, and grade 8 will be at our high schools.
That's correct.
Excellent.
Yes, sir.
So next week, we'll have a video out on what the typical day of a student will look like at each of these levels. Thank you for your attention. Stay well, and we'll see you next time.